Hey everyone, welcome back to Healthy UHQ. Today we're talking about something super important, your health. Specifically, we're diving into 15 weird signs that your body might be craving more potassium. Potassium, an essential mineral, plays a vital role in tons of bodily functions, from muscle contractions to nerve function. Now, I'm not talking about diagnosing anything here. This video is purely for informational purposes. If you're experiencing any of these signs and you're concerned, the best thing to do is always to reach out to your doctor. They can run the necessary tests and give you personalized advice. Think of this video as your guide to understanding the subtle ways your body might be trying to tell you it needs more potassium. We'll cover everything from muscle cramps to those annoying cravings for salty snacks. So let's jump right in and explore these 15 weird signs. You might be surprised by what you learn. Let's start with a sign that many of you have probably experienced: hand cramps. You know that feeling when your hands just seem to seize up, especially after typing on a keyboard all day or gripping something tightly? That, my friends, could be a sign of low potassium. Why? Well, potassium is like the electricity that makes your muscles move. When your potassium levels drop, those electrical signals can get disrupted, leading to muscle spasms and those annoying cramps. It's like your muscles are trying to send you a message saying, hey, we need more potassium to function properly. Now, hand cramps can be caused by a lot of things, like dehydration or overuse. But if you're noticing it more often, especially after activities that involve repetitive hand movements, it's worth considering whether your potassium levels might be low. Remember, listening to your body is key. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Ever feel like you're constantly reaching for your water bottle because your mouth is drier than a desert? That's not just annoying, it could be another sign of low potassium. You see, potassium plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of fluids in your body, including saliva production. When your potassium levels are low, your salivary glands might not be getting the memo to produce enough saliva. The result? That uncomfortable dry mouth feeling, sometimes even accompanied by a sticky sensation. Now, we all experience dry mouth from time to time, especially if we're nervous or dehydrated, but if it's a recurring issue for you, it's worth considering whether a potassium deficiency might be playing a role. And remember, chronic dry mouth isn't something to ignore. It can affect everything from your breath to your dental health, so it's important to address it. We've all been there, right? That wave of fatigue after a meal making you want to nap. It could be linked to a potassium deficiency. Potassium helps regulate blood sugar. Without enough potassium, insulin struggles. This leads to energy crashes after meals. Ensure enough potassium for stable energy. Waking up with puffy eyes can be frustrating, making you look and feel more tired. Low potassium levels could be a surprising contributor. Potassium regulates fluid balance, supporting kidney function. Without enough potassium, your kidneys may struggle to flush out excess fluid. This can lead to puffiness, especially around the eyes. Incorporating potassium-rich foods can help reduce fluid retention. We've all experienced that uncomfortable, full feeling after a meal. Persistent bloating could be a sign of a potassium deficiency. Potassium helps maintain fluid balance in our cells. Think of your cells as tiny water balloons. Potassium regulates fluid flow, preventing bloating. Low potassium disrupts this balance. This imbalance causes fluid retention and bloating. It's like your body's plumbing is out of whack. Incorporate potassium-rich foods to restore balance. Support healthy fluid regulation and reduce bloating. Just as a well-hydrated plant thrives, so will you. Remember the power of potassium. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like, share it, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you do not miss any of our future videos. Thank you. Alright, let's talk about something we don't always like to discuss. Constipation. We've all been there, right? That feeling of being backed up is not fun. But did you know that a potassium deficiency could be a contributing factor? Here's the deal. Potassium plays a crucial role in muscle function, including the muscles in your digestive system. When your potassium levels are low, the smooth muscles in your colon might not contract as effectively, which can slow down the movement of food waste through your intestines. Now, I'm not saying potassium is a magic cure for all constipation woes. There are many potential causes, from dehydration to low fiber intake to certain medications. But if you're struggling with constipation and haven't been able to pinpoint the cause, it's worth considering your potassium intake. So how do you get more potassium? Well, nature provides. Bananas are famous for their potassium content, but you've also got sweet potatoes, avocados, beans, and even coconut water as great sources. Remember, a balanced diet is key to overall health, and that includes keeping things moving smoothly in the digestive department. We all get those salty cravings from time to time. Chips, pretzels, fries. They can be hard to resist, but what if those cravings are your body's way of sending you a message? It might sound strange, but a strong craving for salty foods could actually be a sign of a potassium deficiency. Here's why. Potassium and sodium work together in the body to maintain fluid balance and regulate nerve function. When your potassium levels are low, your body might crave salty foods as a way to compensate for the imbalance. It's like your body's trying to tell you, hey, we need more potassium here. Now, I'm not saying you should go overboard on the salty snacks. Excess sodium can have its own set of health downsides. But if you notice yourself constantly reaching for the salt shaker or craving those salty treats, especially when you're feeling stressed or anxious, it's worth paying attention to. Instead of indulging in processed snacks, try reaching for potassium-rich options like bananas, avocados, spinach, or even a glass of coconut water. These foods can help replenish your potassium levels and satisfy those cravings in a healthier way. We all know how important breathing is, right? It's literally the breath of life. But did you know that something as simple as a potassium deficiency could actually make it harder to breathe? It's true. Potassium plays a vital role in muscle function, and that includes the muscles we use to breathe. When your potassium levels are low, those respiratory muscles might not contract and relax as efficiently as they should. This can lead to shortness of breath, feeling like you can't quite catch your breath, or even experiencing tightness in your chest. Now, it's important to remember that difficulty breathing can be a symptom of many different conditions, some of them serious. So if you're experiencing persistent or severe breathing problems, it's crucial to seek medical attention immediately. Don't brush it off. But if you're noticing mild shortness of breath and are also experiencing other symptoms of low potassium, like fatigue or muscle cramps, it's worth talking to your doctor about getting your levels checked. Remember, your body often gives you subtle clues when something's not quite right. Paying attention to those signs and taking action can make a big difference in your overall health and well-being. Muscle weakness, especially after minimal exertion, is something we all experience from time to time. But if it's a recurring issue for you, it might be a sign of a potassium deficiency. You see, potassium plays a critical role in muscle contractions. Think of it like this: your muscles need energy to function, right? That energy comes in the form of ATP. And guess what's essential for ATP production? You got it, potassium. When your potassium levels are low, your muscles can't produce enough ATP, leading to fatigue and weakness. Now, I'm not saying that every time you feel a little muscle fatigue, you need to reach for a banana. But if you're consistently experiencing weakness along with other symptoms we've discussed like cramps or fatigue, it's worth talking to your doctor. They can run a simple blood test to check your potassium levels and recommend the best course of action. Remember guys, listening to your body is key. If something feels off, don't ignore it. A simple mineral deficiency could be at the root of your issues, and addressing it could make a world of difference in how you feel. Ever find yourself lying in bed at night, and you start to hear your heartbeat in your ears? That rhythmic thump-thump, almost like a drum beat? While it can be a little unnerving, it might be a sign of low potassium levels affecting your blood pressure. Here's the deal. Potassium plays a crucial role in maintaining healthy blood pressure. It does this by relaxing the walls of your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more easily. When you're low on potassium, your blood vessels can constrict, making it harder for blood to pass through. This increased resistance can make your heartbeat more pronounced, especially when you're lying down and everything is quiet. If you're consistently hearing your pulse in your ears, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms like fatigue or muscle cramps, it's worth getting your potassium levels checked. Remember, maintaining healthy blood pressure is crucial for overall health, and ensuring you have adequate potassium levels is a step in the right direction. We've talked about potassium's role in muscle function, energy production, and even how it can impact what you hear. But one of its most important roles is in regulating blood pressure. In fact, high blood pressure, a major risk factor for heart disease, can often be linked to insufficient potassium intake. Think of your blood vessels like a garden hose. If the hose is narrow and constricted, it takes more pressure to push the water through. Similarly, when your potassium levels are low, your blood vessels constrict, forcing your heart to work harder to pump blood throughout your body. This increased pressure on your artery walls is what we call high blood pressure. Over time, this constant strain can damage your arteries, increasing your risk of serious health problems like heart attack, stroke, and kidney disease. The good news is that increasing your potassium intake can help relax those blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more easily and reducing pressure on your cardiovascular system. So, load up on those potassium-rich foods. Your heart will thank you. Alright guys, let's talk about those late-night bathroom trips. We've all been there, right? You're cozy in bed, sound asleep, and suddenly your bladder's like, nope, time to go. Now while there can be many reasons for this, one you might not expect is low potassium. You see, potassium plays a key role in how our bodies balance fluids. When your potassium levels are low, your body tends to hold on to excess water and sugar during the day. Then boom! All that stored up fluid decides it's time for a release, usually right when you're trying to get a good night's sleep. Frustrating, right? So, if you're constantly finding yourself making those midnight bathroom runs, it might be worth checking your potassium levels. You could be deficient and not even realize it. Ever feel lightheaded or dizzy, especially when you stand up too quickly? We call that orthostatic hypotension in the medical world, and it can be a real pain. While there are many potential causes, one we need to talk about is low potassium. Here's the deal. Potassium and sodium, these electrolytes, they're crucial for maintaining proper blood volume and circulation. They help make sure your blood gets where it needs to go, including your brain. Now when your potassium levels are low, it can disrupt this delicate balance. Your body might struggle to circulate blood and oxygen effectively, especially when you change positions suddenly. That's why you might feel that dizzy spell when you stand up too fast. Your brain's not getting the oxygen it needs as quickly as it's used to. So, if you're dealing with frequent dizziness, especially when standing, low potassium could be a factor to consider. Hey guys, let's talk about mood swings. We all experience them from time to time, but if you find yourself getting easily irritated or experiencing drastic shifts in mood, it might be a sign of low potassium. You might be thinking, what does potassium have to do with my mood? Well, potassium plays a crucial role in nerve function. It helps regulate the electrical signals that travel throughout your body, including those that affect your brain. When your potassium levels are low, those signals can get disrupted, leading to irritability, anxiety, and even depression. It's like your brain isn't getting the right messages, and that can really mess with your mood. So if you're feeling on edge or like your emotions are all over the place, don't just brush it off. It could be your body's way of telling you that you need more potassium. We'll talk about how to get more potassium into your diet a little later, so stick around. Now let's talk about some less common but equally important signs of low potassium nausea and loud stomach growling. We've all experienced those rumbling stomachs, especially when we're hungry. But if you're experiencing frequent nausea or your stomach is making a lot of noise even after you've eaten, it could be a sign that your digestive system isn't functioning optimally. And guess what plays a key role in digestion? You got it. Potassium. Potassium helps regulate muscle contractions in your digestive tract. These contractions are essential for moving food through your intestines and preventing bloating and discomfort. When potassium levels are low, these muscles may not contract properly, leading to nausea, gas, and those embarrassing stomach noises. So, if you're feeling queasy or your stomach is putting on a symphony, don't just reach for the antacids. It might be time to consider whether you're getting enough potassium in your diet. That wraps up our look at 15 weird signs your body might need more potassium. Remember, potassium is an essential mineral that plays a vital role in many bodily functions, from muscle contractions to nerve function and fluid balance. To naturally boost your potassium levels, I will include a free PDF guide in this video's description that will include 50 natural foods high in potassium, along with some potassium-rich recipes. You'll find delicious options like bananas, avocados, spinach, and sweet potatoes, just to name a few. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share it, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you do not miss any of our future videos. Thank you. Remember, potassium works in conjunction with other minerals like magnesium and sodium, so balanced intake is crucial. And as always, if you have any underlying health conditions, especially kidney issues, consult your doctor before making any significant dietary changes or using potassium supplements. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you the best of health, wealth, and happiness.